I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Mike O'Cronley. He is the CEO at Ascend Elements. Mike, it is wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Great to be here, Judy. Thanks.
Thank you. So now, Mike, talk to me about the distinction between Ascend Elements as an engineered battery materials company and a battery recycling company, and how this approach contributes to cleaner EV batteries.
Yeah, so at Ascend Elements, we are an engineered materials company. What does that mean? That means we create and make the materials that go into a battery, but it's not just the metals or the raw materials that go in to the battery. Inside every battery, there are certain materials that lend to the performance of a battery. So we synthesize cathode active material, which is the material that is, well, it's the most expensive material in a battery, but it also leads to performance characteristics in the battery, such as lifetime energy density, even power density, how fast you can charge and discharge a battery. That performance is largely in the cathode material, and we make that material. So it's not just about commodities where a typical recycler would be in recovering certain commodities like copper, aluminum, nickel, things like that. We synthesize these materials, these engineered materials, from spent lithium-ion batteries.
Okay. So congratulations are in order on your recent equity investments of $550 million, which includes a $468 million Series D investment. So congratulations.
Yes.
Tell me, how will you use these funds to further advance the development and production of sustainable battery materials?
Yeah, so we're going to pair these funds that we just raised along with some DOE grant money that we were a recipient of that was announced last year. And together that is going to complete the construction of at least the phase one of our Apex plant that's in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And so this was also something we announced last year. So that funding together will complete that and will help us deliver new cathode materials to the battery market here in the United States.
Okay. So talk about the hydro-to-cathode process and tell me how it enhances economic efficiency and carbon reduction and how it compares to traditional manufacturing methods.
Yeah, so hydro-to-cathode is our process. It's a process that Ascend Elements had developed really about 12 years ago in the labs of Worcester Polytechnic Institute, WPI, which is just outside of Boston. So it was developed there in those labs, and it's a unique way of processing batteries, spent lithium-ion batteries, and synthesizing this new engineered material. So it's something that hasn't been done before in the industry. It's something that's very specific to generating a very high value material from recycled batteries. And so by doing this process, we're able to dramatically reduce the amount of energy that it takes to make this cathode material. We're able to dramatically reduce the amount of CO2 emissions. And so that is making this cathode material much more sustainable.
All right, and finally, you mentioned the Apex One facility in Kentucky. Tell me, how will it contribute to meeting the increasing demand for engineering battery materials, especially for electric battery materials?
Yeah, so in the United States, we have no capacity or capability of making cathode precursor materials. So we focus on something that's called an NMC material. So we make a cathode precursor to be an NMC hydroxide. So this is the material that it goes into a new battery. It is the engineered material. And it is the first plant in the United States to produce this material. Almost all of that cathode precursor material is formulated and synthesized in China. And so this is a big part of the infrastructure that is being incentivized to build in the United States, to being able to have this capability to synthesize these materials locally here. And that's one of the big reasons why Ascend Elements had received this grant money to help build this infrastructure here in the US and supply the US battery industry.
All right, well, Mike, wonderful to have you on Floor Talk. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, great to be here.